End topic continuation. Already black. Good evening, Prana.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Need a password for what? You can tell me. Right. So, last class, did you revise things, Prana? Did you go through whatever we discussed or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir.
Prana.
Yes, sir, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you understand last class we were discussing about projectile motion. So that one
Yes, sir.
actually kind of like a, so this was actually projectile motion, right? So we
Yes,
discussed
sir.
this, right? So here basically we were discussing about the what is actually projectile. If someone asks you what is a projectile is the one which basically projected object with an angle theta to the horizontal direction. So
So,
uh, the any object which project with an angle theta to the horizontal direction, we call it as a projectile, and its
yes, sir.
motion called projectile motion. And we prove that the path of the projectile motion is parabola. We already proved that, right? Uh,
Yes, sir.
so then what we did is we proved that ax y equal ax minus bx square, and we also proved that the maximum height, range, and time of flight for a projectile is we also prove that the equations like h max equals to u square sine square theta. You should remember these equations were very important. And the range is u square sine 2 theta by g. And time of flight is the one which is the distance, which is the time from initial point to the final point, which is actually time of flight, time of ascent plus time of descent. The time required from the initial point to the maximum height and the maximum height to the again final point. So that is actual 2 u by g plus u sine theta by g plus u sine theta by g. So when you add both
Yes, sir.
2u sine theta by g. So we also did this vertical motion 2u by g. Here we got only sine theta, projectile motion. Range we got it actually u square 2 sine theta cos theta. U square sine 2 sine theta cos theta, but that formula is sine 2 theta. Sine 2 theta formula is 2 sine theta cos theta. And we proved this. How we got this equation? The maximum height equation we got it from third equation of motion. V square minus v square 2as. And the range we got it actually horizontal velocity into time. You know the time of flight, and the horizontal velocity only u cos theta. So when you multiply u cos theta into 2u sin theta by g, so you get actually u square 2 sin theta cos theta by g. From that we prove that range also we got it. And there is one more projectile motion which is actually slightly different than the one we just discussed.
Yes, sir.
So this one is a kind of realistic situation also. Like when you throw an object from flight or building, you kind of see this situation. So when you throw an object from the flight or aeroplane, like any helicopter or building or mountain, anything like that. So what happened? A pole, when you are sitting on the pole and dropping the an object from it, and you can see how its motion is changing. And you can see this is a kind of like a pole or building, and you throw the object and which is coming this path. And here you should remember that uh, when you throw an object like this, what is going on? When you throw, there is a velocity, initial velocity, horizontal. Here again, the velocity is let me delete it. So the velocity divided into two components, because you are throwing it, right?
Yes,
You're
sir.
throwing it from here. Again, what happened here? Two velocities are dividing. One is ux, the other one is uy.
Yes, sir.
Right. So when you throw object from here, what happened? The velocity which you give that u, let us say the initial velocity you gave that u, and it is dividing. You can see clearly here, downward and horizontal direction. Vertical direction
Yes,
down,
sir.
horizontal direction this direction. So ux is the horizontal direction and uy is the vertical direction. At this point, which one is zero? Because when you throw object, it goes horizontal direction, right?
Yes, sir.
So initially the horizontal velocity is u. Okay. The initial velocity vertically, it's zero, right? Because it's not going upward or downward. You are at this point, I'm talking about here. At this point, you have only horizontal velocity going under this direction. You don't have the vertical direction here. Okay, so that initial velocity is u, that is horizontal velocity equal. Initial vertical velocity is zero because the object does not started to go downward. But when it reaches here, the final velocities, when you reaches the final ground, you can think about this is closing to the ground, not close, but closing to the ground. So you can see that the final velocity again, horizontal is same, constant. Horizontal component of velocity always constant. As I mentioned in the previous case, here also same. So we take a initial or final is same, u only. Which is changing? Only vertical component of velocity changing. Initially it was zero. The finally what happened? We are going to get v is equal to u plus at, right? When I use this formula, vertical case, vy is equal to uy downward direction. So I would you're going you're going actually, but you're throwing downward. No, you are throwing downward towards the ground. I know, but yeah, plus only, right? You're right. Uh, GT, right? But
Yes,
UI
sir.
is zero, right? Because vertical component is sorry, yeah, UI equal to zero, right? UI is zero. UI is what? Initial component of vertical component. Remember, guys, here I'm writing here Vy is equal to Uy plus GT. What is this? U means initial, V means final. Initial vertical component means no downward velocity. So this is zero. And Vy, you are saying that just we are assuming Vy only. So in that case, what you are going to get? Vy is equal to GT. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So horizontal component always constant, u only, but vertical component of velocity, initially it was zero here, finally it becomes gt. Now what I want to write here equation is, suppose you want to find a slope. Slope, we always use the tan theta. Tan theta is equal to y component by x component. What is the y component here? Tell me. Y component is gt. Y component
Yes,
is
sir.
gt.
GT.
X component always same, right? U only. So tan theta is equal to y component of velocity by x component of velocity. We can also write vy by uy. Yes, no, x or vx. Simply you can write it vx. Vy by vx. Vy is gt. Vx or vy. This is u. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So now we got it as a tan theta or theta. If you want to find theta, you take tan theta should go this side. That becomes inverse. We write it like inverse. When you bring the one side to other side tan theta, we have to write tan inverse of gt by, you're going to get this one. How about t? How we are going to get t? Tell me. Why we are getting t is equal to root 2h by g? Use the second equation of motion. S is equal to ut plus half at square.
Yes,
From
sir.
here, what I'm trying to say, uy, we are talking about height, right? Vertical. So s, this is h, height is h, s is h, and this is uy. So uy is what? Vertical component of velocity, which is actually 0. So what is left over here is half 80 square. So h is equal to half 80 t. I'm writing capital T because here I'm talking about total time from the maximum height to the ground. So because here you don't have time of ascent, time of descent here. Whatever time of descent is the time of flight only. We don't have time of ascent because the object is falling from the maximum height to the down only. So no only descent. We don't have the ascent. So I'm writing as a time of descent equal to time of flight only, t. So a is equal to g, you can write it. So from here t, you have to calculate the t. So t square is equal to, this is going to be 2h by g. And if you want to write t, is going to be root. So this is t is equal to root 2h by g. Range, how do we get range? Range is nothing but a horizontal component of velocity into time of flight. So here, no, this case is different. Here we don't have the theta value. See, so here range is equal to horizontal velocity is how much? U only. Horizontal velocity does not change. U. Time is here. So you can write like this: root of 2h by. So range formula should be here. In this case, equation for projectile motion. Projectile motion in case of vertical side. So you have to remember this formula: U into root 2h by g. Because range equal to horizontal velocity into t. T is already, we got it just now. So this is the formula. Parabola, how to prove parabola is simple. Yes. H is equal, just now we got equation, right? H is equal to 1 by 2 gt square. T, what is t here? X by u. Time is what? Distance by velocity. So to prove that parabola, simple. You are writing h as a y, 1 by 2 g. T is actually distance by velocity. So square. This is actually parabola equation. Y is equal, all this is constants, ax square. This is also one of the, a is the all constant, g by 2 into u square. And here y is equal to x square, also parabola. It represent y is equal to x square, ax square. A is a constant. This is also parabola. So even if you throw an object from the aeroplane or any tower or any pole or any building, the path should be parabola. Even if you throw an object with the angle theta from the horizontal direction, same parabola. Okay. Then angle 90 is still vertical only. So you can just keep it, theta is 90 degrees. Whatever equations you have with theta, you substitute 90 degrees. So here you should able to remember all these equations, especially in case in this kind of motion, projectile motion. The projectile motion, two types we discussed. One is the simply this type. The other one is throwing a object from the flight, something like that. And in this case, time of flight is root 2h by g. Range is like this. But you can also get range in terms of they give the problem saying that height and everything you should use this formula u root 2h by g, and theta should be like this. Okay, and the parabola equation is this. That's it. You should just remember that horizontal velocity does not change. Vertical velocity initially it's 0, finally gt. Okay, these things you should remember. Is it clear? Can I move to
Yes,
next
sir.
slide?
Sir, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Ah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, the vectors, I just want to, I think, discuss few things. I think after this, yeah, we'll do some problem. There are two products. In vector, when you're doing, I mean, we already did, when you're adding the vectors, you have to add I, j, j, k, k. But there is a product. How do we do two vector products? Suppose I have the vector A and vector B. I want to multiply A cross B. And I have another, I can also multiply A dot B. Which one is correct? And both are correct. We call it as a, this product we call it dot product. Dot product. What is dot product? I'm going to importance we're going to talk. Dot product also called scalar product. What do you call it? Scalar product. Why we are calling scalar? Because after this product, we're going to get scalar quantity, not vector. When you do the product, whatever you get result, there is no vector here. I don't wrong. This is no vector sign here. A, B cos theta, that's it. So when you do the A dot B, whatever answer you get scalar only. Example, sir, work done is equal to F dot S. Here, S is the vector, force is also vector. Displacement force, both are vector. But work done is it vector work done? Work done is not a vector, right? You, you always say I did work done, but you don't say I did work done in north, south, east direction, right? So here dot product of two vectors can produce the scalar quantity which is work done. Dot product of two vectors can give the work done which is a scalar. Now cross product of two vectors. This is called cross product. And also called, what do you call it? Vector product. This is scalar product. If the result comes scalar, we call it scalar product. If the result comes vector, we call it as a vector product. So no, example I'm going to talk about it. R torque, there is a term called R cross F. I'm going to tell another also. Angular momentum also there. M V R cross V cross R cross V. Angular momentum, torque are the two examples. You can also write, these two examples for the vector product. What is torque and what is angular momentum? Torque is the physical quantity which helps to rotate the object. Torque, without torque, the fan does not run. Without torque, you know any motor doesn't work. So because of the right hand rules, the R cross F, the object can turn it. It takes rotation effect. Like angle, what is the importance of angular moment? Angular momentum can help you to rotate the this like solar system. With the help of angular momentum only, the electron revolve around the nucleus. With the help of angular momentum only, all the satellites, the solar system, they revolve around the sun. Okay, so angular momentum, torque are the very important physical quantities which could help to rotate the objects. Okay. Uh, After that, I'm going to tell a few more things. Here I wrote some important stuff here. You can remember that. What is this actually? I don't understand, sir. I dot I, J dot J, K dot K is equal to 1. But this is completely wrong. This is cross. No, yeah, dot only, right? First. But when I write it here, I dot J, J dot K, I dot K, 0. Why? So let me clear this. If you want to note down any point here, I'm going to use the same space for the to do something else. But can you do you want to note down any points here, or can I go for clear?
1 minute, sir.
Because
Okay, sir.
you may not see whatever I wrote here. Uh,
I can see, sir.
then so now we already discussed this is dot product or scalar product. We also discussed this is a vector product and cross product. Now the question is, uh, I also mentioned before, what is ij case? What are actually we call it ij case? Unit vectors, right? These
Yes,
are
sir.
the ijk or the unit vector along x, y, z. I is the unit vector along x-axis, j is the unit vector along y-axis, k is the unit vector along z-axis,
Yes,
z-axis.
sir.
Now, when I say I dot j or I dot I, now no, remember this. I am clearing now I dot j product. What is this?
Yes,
Is
sir.
I'm saying 1 and this is I'm saying 0. Why? So, when I draw the x, y, z, this is x, y, the angle between any two axes is theta is 90, right? Is it correct? If you're if you are dealing with x 3D system or xyz, the angle between xy 90, yz 90, xz also 90. They are perpendicular to each other, right? So now I is what? X-axis. What is I? X. J is Y. K is Z. What is the angle between I and J? 90 degrees, right? All are perpendicular to each other, right? X, Y, Z always 90 degrees. In 3D, we are talking about 3D. Don't talk about, don't see my picture here. In 3D, X, Y, Z always perpendicular to each other, right?
Yes, sir.
So 90 degrees. But here, what is the angle between I and J?
Yes.
What is the angle between the I and J?
I and J.
Theta is equal to 90. They are perpendicular only, right?
Yes, sir.
I is x-axis, J is y-axis. Definitely 90 degrees. If I say I dot what is the angle between I and I? I. So both are same
I.
direction.
Yes,
I,
sir. Yes, sir.
this is I, this is I. What is the angle between them? Angle I'm talking about. What is the angle between these two parallel lines?
Yes, sir.
So the angle between any two same, like they are parallel, right? The angle is always zero, right? So angle between any two parallel line is zero only, right? I mean, usually when you bring them together, all planes, this when you tie them all of them same, right? You can bring all together, tie it. The angle is zero, right? Pranav.
Yes, sir.
So angle between JJ also zero. Angle between KK also K and K. If you see what is the angle between Z and Z, if I say, what do you say? Zero, right? What is the angle between X and X? Both zero, right? What is the
Yes,
angle
sir.
between I and J? You said 90 because perpendicular. But I and I, J and J, K and K, they are parallel vectors. Basically, it's zero. Both are same.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so now in case of I and I, zero. So I want to substitute here. A dot B. A is also I. B is also I. Right? I'm taking A and B. I is equal to AB means A is a magnitude. You should take magnitudes. Magnitude means I magnitude is equal to 1. Unit vector, right? Unit vector means what? Magnitude is 1. So I should
Yes,
write
sir.
1
Magnitude 1.
to 1. Magnitude of B vector 1, magnitude of A vector 1. Cos 0. Cos 0 is also 1. So 1 into 1 is 1. So I dot I, J dot J, K dot K is how much? 1 because of theta angle 0.
Yes, sir.
When I say I dot J, J dot K, K dot I, their angle is how much? 90 degrees, right? Cos
Yes, sir.
90 is 0. Cos 90 is 0.
0.
So 0 means the entire right side quantity becomes 0. So I dot J, J dot K, K dot I equal to 0. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So, but other case, cross product is different. A cross B equal to AB sin theta. Dot product defined as a product of any two vectors must be equal to, it should be product of their magnitude into cos theta. And there is no vector here. It should, you get some value, number, some XYZ number you get it. But in case of cross product, you get some value in terms of ijk. It should, you will get it answer in terms of ijk, vector quantity.
Yes,
So
sir.
the that should be defined as a cross b equal to ab sin theta. So whichever comes vector quantity ab sin theta, scalar quantity ab cos theta. N also there, because why we keep n? Because of this is a vector representation. So whatever you get answer is, it should be in the vector format, not in a scalar format. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So vectors are very important. It play a very important role in mathematics and physics and every subject. You should know this all the properties. I cross. So now I mention here I cross J. I'm getting K. So when I do this vector product of I and J, I'm getting K is also vector. So A cross B, I'm getting as a K, which means I'm getting C, but C also vector. Similarly, if I do J cross K, what I should get it? I'm going to get I. How about K
Yes, sir.
cross I? K cross I. J I'm going to get, right?
Yes, sir.
I cross J, K, J cross K, I, K cross I, J. But if I do reverse, what I'm going to get? Tell me. This is this is clockwise. When I do the anti-clockwise product, J cross I, you're going to get minus K.
Yes, sir.
K cross I becomes minus I. Because same simple
Yes, sir.
principle. Rotation, if you do the clockwise, plus. If you reverse it, minus. No, cross
Yes, sir.
vector multiplication, always remember, it should be different. Vectors are different. Going from A to
Yes,
B
sir.
is different, B to A is different, right? If the pan
Yes, sir.
rotates clockwise, we take as a positive, anti-clockwise, negative. They shouldn't be same. So product A cross B equal to, not equal to, when you do the vector product, not equal to B cross A. Cross product doesn't. A dot B equal to B dot A. That makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Dot product hell satisfy this. What property we call it? Cumulative property, or which property? Or distributive
Yes,
property?
sir.
Cumulative, I guess, right? Mathematics. You might have done this, right? AB is equal to BA. A dot B equal to B dot A. Cumulative, I guess.
Yes, sir.
So cross product does not equal. Dot product, they are equal. Okay. So you always remember this when you write it J K. When you go like this, you get positive values. Like I to J, you get I cross J, you get K. J cross K, you get I. K cross I, you get J. But when you do reverse process like this, minus, minus, minus. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
simple concept, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Now we understand why we got 1, why we got 0, why we get negative values also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But it takes so much time. I'll focus on this later also. It's really important to understand vectors, and we have to do a lot of problems on this. It's not it doesn't complete one class. I would, but here we do some problems. Today class. Here
Yes,
there
sir.
is a problem related to the maximum height. If A, B, two balls, similar balls, you can think about same balls and similar balls, are projected with the same speed. So basically, you are projecting same speed. Both balls are
Yes, sir.
projecting same speed, but the angles are different, I would say. So
Yes, sir.
one is 60, the other one is 30. So the
Yes,
A2 balls
sir.
are, there are two different balls. One is 30, the other one is 60. But the velocities are same, he's saying the same speed. But angle made by the horizontal is one is 60, one is 30. The smallest one you can think about this one, right? The first one. So this is 30 and the other one bigger, this one is 60. Find the ratio of maximum heights. Find the ratio of maximum heights. So before entering into this, I would love to explain what are the theta, I mean sine 30, cos 30, all these are very
Yes,
important.
sir.
I'll just, I'll just explain that also. What is zero? What This is important trigonometry things you guys need to understand. 45, 60, 90. Okay. So I'm writing what are the trigonometric function? Sine, cos, tan. Remember this tangent we call it. Cot, secant, cosecant. These things are remember. Yes, sine function, cos, tan, cot, secant, cosecant. So if you know one row, then you can get all other rows. You can make yourself. Sine 0, 0. Sine 0, 0. Which means basically your theta is there. You are keeping theta as a 0. Sine 0 is
Yes, sir.
0. Sine 30, 1 by 2. Remember this. Sine 45, 1 by root 2. Sine 60, root 3 by 2. Sine 90, 1. So remember this sine and cos lies between 0 and 1 only. The minimal least value is 0, maximum value is 1. They don't go out of this range. This is the range 0 and 1. So when
Yes,
you
sir.
want to write for cos theta, completely just reverse it. Cos 0 become a cos, sin 90. Reverse. Here 1,
Yes, sir.
root 3 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 same. 45 both are same. Sin 45, cos 45. Sin 60 become cos 60 becomes sin 30. Remember like that. Oh, cos 60 is sin 30. Cos 30 sin 60. Cos 90 sin 0. Okay. So this is 1 by 2. And this is 0. So you know the sine and cos now, right? When you want to do tan, simply sine by cos. Divide first one by second one. Sine by cos. Because why we are doing this, you should remember this also. Okay. This is theta, opposite side, adjacent side, hypotenuse. So tan theta, sine theta means sine theta is what? Opposite side by hypotenuse means O by H. Cos theta is what? Adjacent side by A by H. Tan theta is what happened? O by A because HH gets cancelled. Opposite side by adjacent side. Same thing I am doing here. So tan theta means simply you divide it this by this because hypotenuse both will cancel. You just need to divide it. 0 by anything is 0 only. Remember that. 0 by anything is, so 0 by anything is 0. This by this how much? 1 by 2 by root 3 by 2? Root 3. Divide it. Because 2 to cancel root 3. This is 1. So this by 60 by 60. So root 3 by 1 by root 3. I think we did somewhere mistake. 60 means science. This by this is root 3. This is 1 by root 3. Why? Because 1 by 2 by root 3 by 2. So 1 by 2 by root 3 by 2. So this can be written as a 1 by 2 cross reverse it. 2 by root 3. 2 cancel. Is it clear, Pranav? Are you there? Pranav,
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
do you understand this 30?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
1 by 2 by root 3 by 2.
Okay, sir.
1 by 2 here, root 3 by 2 inverse it, right? Reverse it. 2 gets cancelled 1 by 3, 1 by root 3. And this is an infinity. The last one is infinity. Why? Because 1 by 0 is how much? Infinity.
Undefined. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We need to write infinity. Cot. Cot is the reverse of tan. Same infinity. Root 3. 1. 1 by root 3. 0. Second is the inverse of cos. Whatever you get
Yes, sir.
here, just make it inverse. 1 by 1, 1. 1 by this, 2 by root 3.
Yes, sir.
2 to infinity. Again, inverse of sine. Sine or reverse, I mean, opposite side of this also. Infinity, 2, root 2, 2 by root 3, 1. Same inverse of sine. Inverse of sine, you get this one. And these are opposite direction. If you know secant, cosecant is quite opposite. Same like a sine cos. Sine cos opposite. Tan cot also opposite. Secant cosecant also opposite. Just if you know one, I mean, if you know sine, you can do everything. What?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's there, but I don't know. Okay. Is it clear?
Sir.
Okay. So, I mean, I think this is going to disappear now. You have to copy or something like screen.
I took screenshot, sir.
You took already. Very, very important. This table, if you know, You're going to do
Yes, sir.
trigonometry very easily. You might have started
Yes,
trigonometry,
sir.
right? I mean,
Yes, sir.
Sri Chaitanya people, they teach you, right? In ninth itself, definitely,
Yes, sir.
IIT. Did you did you
Yes,
learn
sir.
this,
Yes, sir.
Pranav?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did they teach this one already?
No, sir. This one, no, sir.
They didn't teach?
Ah, that is, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, can I close it?
Yes, sir.
Can I clear it? So now I can do the
Yes,
problem
sir.
h1 by h2. Now you know the values,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Sin 30, sin 30 how much? Tell me. Sin 30 how much? 1 by 2.
1/2.
Sin square 30, 1 by 4. Square it, right?
Yes, sir.
So 1 by 4. Sin 60. Sin 60 how much? Just
Yes.
now we learn it. Root 3 by
Root 3/2.
square. When you do the square here,
Yes, sir.
3 by 4. We are doing just simple. Maximum h1 by h2. Because when you do the same speed is said, right? We don't care this theta, sin.
Yes, sir. Yes,
H1 by h2 equals sin square theta 1 by sin square theta.
sir.
Is it okay, Pranav? Are you okay?
Yes,
Pranav, we have a co-off.
sir.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is a simple formula that we got it from here actually. Because same speed means you don't care. 2g also constant.